It's now June 2025, and John Cena has been a heel now for approximately 3 to 4 months. And while the original highs of the heel turn at Elimination Chamber will still ring true for many years to come, I think we need to have a conversation about how WWE is fully fumbling John Cena's heel run. So if we look at what has happened since John Cena's original heel turn at Elimination Chamber 2025, we have to put aside the fact that the Rock storyline and selling of Cody Rhodes' soul is out the window. And so we had to sort of forget about all of that. Standing that was completely fumbled. The John Cena heel turn is just full of plot holes. Like, it doesn't make any sense why he is the way he is right now. And I still just can't get over that fundamental fact. And if we look back through the feuds that he has had since that initial heel turn, okay, Cody Rhodes, he's going for the title, fine. Then they fit in the nostalgia feud with Randy Orton. And I gotta say, that was a little bit underwhelming because the Randy Orton feud, in my mind, could have been the last feud. The last feud that we leave John Cena with is Randy Orton versus John Cena. But instead, we fit that in Backlash. Then we've had R-Truth. And I guess there hasn't been sort of any real jeopardy since that feud as well. Non-title fight, and it's sort of being a filler feud to get him in the loop with Cody Rhodes and now Jey Uso again. The other gripe I have with John Cena's heel run is his complete inconsistency with his real life persona, insofar as there is no kayfabe to his heel character. He's appeared in other shows, he's appeared in interviews and been his whole pre-heel John Cena self. And just seeing that in a clip on TikTok, followed by having to believe him in SmackDown or on SmackDown immediately afterwards, just makes no sense whatsoever. So let's think about who he could have been feuding with. So John Cena wins Elimination Chamber, goes on to feud with Cody Rhodes. Completely fine. That you can't really change that part. But who could he have feuded with since? Well, if I think back to what made John Cena so divisive back in the mid-2000s when I was watching wrestling, and I was one of those kids who actually really rooted for the heels, oddly enough. So someone like an Edge, I actually really liked them, and I was on the bandwagon of booing John Cena whenever he won. But there was one pay-per-view in particular that John Cena really embodied a heel persona in a very organic way, and that was ECW One Night Stand 2006. So if anybody was watching wrestling back then, you would remember how hated John Cena was in that particular arena in that night. And I know there were certain factors that went into it. It was the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view, and Rob Van Dam, the beloved son of ECW, was cashing in his money in the bank in a very face-like manner by announcing it ahead of time against John Cena in an ECW hardcore fan arena. So, of course, John Cena was sort of up against it by heading into that match. But notwithstanding that, he was still the face of the WWE. He was still carrying the WWE banner on his back. But in the match and in the environment, he used his heel tactics so well to really ramp up the crowd and get them as feral as possible. And we loved it. As someone who was rooting against John Cena at the time, with Edge then interfering and allowing Rob Van Dam to take the win. But anyway, so ECW One Night Stand, a really organic way to show John Cena's other side of being a heel. And so who could he have feuded with now? Well, if John Cena took that Super Cena persona that he had in the mid-2000s and the 2010s, early 2010s, I could see him just burying baby faces that were on the way up, and that sort of be his heel run. And who would that be? Well, I guess he did the Cody Rhodes thing, but You could also have him feud with a Braun Breaker. You could have him feud with Jey Uso. And maybe there's room for that still, but having the nostalgia run just end so quickly with Randy Orton, I feel like they've really fumbled the bag with that. Now, where does WWE go with John Cena from here? His alignment with Logan Paul in a way to bring heat is, in my opinion, actually not the worst thing that they could have done. But could they double down on this and really get him with more heels to create a bit of a faction? Maybe that's the way that they go, because at the moment, I just see it as filler feuds and it's not really interesting. Hopefully it turns around, but at the moment, WWE is fully fumbling the John Cena heel run.